To many people outside the military, this may just look like a piece of metal from a motorbike engine, but the people from the military, specifically who served in the military the last 10-20 years, this is shrapnel. This nearly killed me. It's going to help me explain why it's important to keep memorabilia as you're serving throughout the military, whether it's items or photographs. My armory box. Everything from start to finish of my career and some ancestors' careers as well. This was packed into an IED that exploded in Afghanistan around June or July 2008, back when I was this guy here. I was actually outside a patrol base. I was just building a new Sanger. Lovely colourful shorts there, nice skinny helmet diet. So the story behind it as such was I was operating in a place called Sangin in Helmand province. Start of the tour is quite kinetic. When I say kinetic, it was like gunfire, so like firing at each other. And then as we progressed more into the tour, it was all IED, so improvised explosive devices, because obviously the Taliban worked out that was a far more effective tool to hit us and hurt us than coming on with small arms, so gunfights, because we were superior to them with that. But yeah, we were on a clearance operation because clearly it's a village. I would say a village. I'd say more of a town. Civilians live in this, live there. We would go out and clear it. So that would be your point man with like a metal detector thing. Would move forward. That's called a volume, and search for these bombs. We'd find the bombs, call forward the engineers who are like a little bit behind us. They come forward and control the explosion. As the tour progressed, these IEDs became extremely numerous. Like I can't remember the amount that was found in 1 week, but you're talking a silly number, like double figures, like you're talking 40, 50, 60. Them kind of amount of numbers of IEDs were being found. It was like a flipping IED epidemic in Sangin. And just basically the job was to find bombs, find where they are, get the guys up and destroy them in place. And then there was a time where we'd found one. I think it was an American asset was with us as well, so American engineer unit. They go about things a lot more differently than we would have done. But I remember him setting one off, and as he set one off, controlled it, we'd found it. It was actually linked to a number of other ones, and this went off in the irrigation ditch back where we were. So, the Taliban and whoever they were, their ID people were to place this, like their little section, wherever it was, was working out that whenever we go to find one IED, that we would maybe set up back here. So then they were daisy chaining it, is what it's called. When you put daisy chains, if you're a kid, like daisy chain when you are. So that's what they called them anyway, daisy chains. So all the cables would go to each sort of IED, but it'd be a massive space between this one. This was like a freebie. Let's let them find us, but let's not let them find these ones back here. These went off anyway, as we were sitting back, and none of us got hurt, but I remember that force off it. It was like someone punching in the face, and that was just a blast. And obviously we're all like 18, 19, quite young lads with full testosterone. Thought this was quite fucking funny. It was a close call, that kind of reaction. But I think that was the kind of reaction you would have. I don't know why that was your reaction, but it happened. Everyone was laughing like fucking hell. And I remember just as I sort of looked up to where I had fell over, there was a compound wall behind me, and just as it turned, this was just sticking in the compound wall. I was like, what the fuck is that there? Grabbed it, pulled it out, and yeah, that was a piece of shrapnel. So it just, when these things happen, it was like a split instinct. As the explosion off, it fell down to the ground for cover, but there's no reason why I would have stayed up, because that would have just been stupidity. I would have been blown over by the blast anyway. But yeah, that was in place where I was taking cover behind the sort of compound wall towards us. So yeah, pulled out of the wall, put it right into my map pocket and took it back with me. And yeah, from time to time I like to pull it out and just look at it. And it's mad, as time goes on. When I was just young, it was just a piece of metal. I was like, yeah, look at that piece of metal. But as time goes on and you get a little bit older and you feel the weight of it, you feel how jaggedy and sharp it is, and realise the speed at what these things move at, the damage it can do. And I know I'm right up there, but that's it there in reference to my face. So yeah, you know, definitely if I had hit me in the face, yeah, I probably wouldn't be here. But that's the kind of stuff we're using, and I like to keep that as a little momentum of, you know, I survived, physically and mentally, good to go. And maybe it just reminds me of like, you know, how short life can be at sometimes, or just how quick it can just be off an instant. You don't just need to be in a battlefield. Anything can happen. So make sure you never take anything granted for in life itself. But what I'm trying to get at is you need to, you know, take pictures and capture them and store them away, and maybe even print a few, because the thing is with digital stuff, we can forget about them, and if our phones get slower because we've got so much stuff in there, you might start deleting loads of stuff. And if you only took the photograph, you know, like a month ago or something, it's just like, oh, it was only last month. But that photograph, if you kept it and then you look back on that online like 6, 7, 8, 10 years back, looking at it, that photograph suddenly means a lot more. So that's why I think it's important to either rip your photographs off your phone or your digital camera and store them on hard drive, so you can store them away for future use, so you can look back on them, or just print some stuff. And I understand when you start physically printing things, they start to take up space, but like when you get a box to store everything away, it's really good sometimes to you know, go into that box, and it just makes you yourself relive some memories.
An American shit kid, get in ye. What's that all about, like? Oh man, mate. Buddies are snoozing like as usual. Big bag of fun here, the fuck. Some kind of bacon shit.
And I'm the only person in my family who's served in the military since the Great Wars. And I'm now going to show you what else I've got in this box, which will further back up my sort of talk right now and what I'm saying about you should keep things, and show you some very old photographs. That is my great granda, girly, so on my mum's side. So clearly these are quite common, and these were sort of presented to people who served in the Great War. So I've got that now. So this is a plate, quite obviously, but this was an actual plate they were issued, and this was that he would have used to eat his scoff when he was in the trenches. So me as a serving personnel to have this now, knowing that, you know, this was his, and he had this in the trenches, is, yeah, it's pretty cool to have this. Very important. Most people just a plate, but you know, to him, probably eating his scoff and that, probably would have never thought that in 100 odd years that you know, his bloodline would be serving in the military, would have this plate. Yeah, so this is what I mean about when you're doing stuff there and then and you think it's not important. You do not know how far back in your family stuff is going to go. And what I'll do is just show you a couple of photographs. Before I show you the photographs, find another thing there. Buttons. Oh, that is mine, a dog tag of mine. This is a button, so buttons off him. Then the skillings. That would have been on his fighting jacket. I think it's pretty cool. How about now, especially me, because that is like an antecedent regiment of the one I'm in now. Yeah, so pretty cool to have that. These ones here are quite prominent to us because like we in the military do these nowadays. So like take a platoon photograph. Clearly this isn't a war, but you get your platoon photograph done, or a course photograph, that kind of thing. We just go, yeah, and don't get them and throw them away. There's another one there of the platoon just in downtime, I believe. But you can tell by the huts they're in. So it's 1916. The thing I like about these kind of photographs is, let me see here now if I go over to the Afghanistan ones. Yeah, so this is why I like about it, because I go, my platoon, obviously I'm not the platoon sergeant then, but my platoon is a ranger, their platoon. So we still do these photographs. It's like flipping back in World War One. This is 2008. This is why I'm saying it's so important to take these pictures, because you never know what family member or museum or whatever it may be is going to get these next. That's very cool. So right back 100 odd years ago, the bloodline was there. The bloodline is still now here. And many of these other guys will have had people serving in the Great Wars as well. I've just recently come back from a course, 2-week course, drill instructor's course. It's now nipped past. Yeah, got a photograph at the end of it. I wasn't going to do it, but then I thought to myself, you know what, I do get it, because this photograph now doesn't mean as much, but potentially to my kids when they are much, much older, or to my grandkids, yeah, or to my grandkids, this picture could potentially be a lot more important to what actually I think it is right now. So All Ireland's basic drill course, as of October 2023, is now another sealed piece of memory, military memory, in the Johnson military box. Moving into a new week, got a couple more videos coming up, and then we get ready to go to Canada for this military competition. That's going to be a good one. So I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.